Hey, how about them tops, son?
All day, SEC boys. SEC, they supposed to be SEC. Jersey all day, baby.
You're listening to the Red Out Podcast.
Welcome into another Red Out Podcast. I'm Devin, and we have no Jake tonight, so...
R.I.P.
Womp womp. Womp womp womp. Yeah, R.I.P. Jake.
You missed out on me being here.
I know, right? That was kind of a godsend. I was like, well, we've lost Jake, and then Jared messaged. He's like, hey, I'm good for tonight. I was like, woohoo!
Yeah, coming in clutch.
I know, right? Clutch hitter here.
That's just the Hilltopper way, man. That's
I know, right?
Way.
You just help each other out when we need it.
Like Ty Rogers.
There you go, yeah. Like my boy Ty. So, winners and losers for me this week. Winner, horse racing.
I guess you could say
You don't think so? Okay, now here's my thing. It's kind of the philosophy that any news is good news kind of thing, because honestly, who really cares, like, the next few days after horse racing? In my opinion, I don't think anybody does.
I'll get into why I think it's a loser. I think your idea, it brought up attention.
Yes.
More than yes, it was great. But instead, the reason I think it's a loser is because neither Country House nor was the other horse that won then got disqualified.
Maximum Security.
Yes.
Maximum, yeah, neither of them. If you had both of them in the Preakness, that would be like really juicy and fun. Instead, neither of them because they're running, and now it's like, okay, well, you know, the Preakness is always the redhead stepchild. The only they're about to move it from Pimlico if they don't get their stuff together. So, now no one's paying attention to anything. It's literally instead of 6 weeks, it's going to be 1 week, which already happened. So,
yeah, I mean, see, that's my thing. I mean, yeah, it kind of sucked for the whole thing, but I think the ratings shut up, they said, after the race because everybody's trying to figure out what's going on and how the guy got disqualified.
Well, they said that that it almost drew as much as Tiger's last round of the Masters. Granted, that was in the morning, that was and the Derby was in the evening, but that's still crazy to think about for such a little small niche sport like horse racing.
I actually
here's an even more ridiculous stat, though, that I realized. There have been 2 Triple Crown winners since Western last went to the NCAA tournament in men's basketball.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, who would have ever thought of that?
Oh, my gosh.
Well,
yeah.
considering we went 40 years without one. But, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that's still a slap.
There's a good question of, did horse racing benefit or get hurt by American Pharoah winning it? Because there was always that will they want. It's like the Cubs with the World Series. It's like the will they want they type thing. And then when it finally happened, does it still bring in does it still like Justify last year? Did he bring in the casual fans like American Pharoah did? I don't know. I mean, and then now, I mean, without any horse going for the even Triple Crown this year, it's just, I mean, they just totally screwed any publicity they had.
If Country House were to somehow pull off the Triple Crown, that would be a really cool story. Because it started as like 65-1 odds for the Kentucky Derby, and then if he's able to actually keep winning despite not winning an actual race yet.
Now see,
we'll see.
Oh yeah, and then if you had even if he raced and the other one didn't, if the other one came back for the Belmont, and then it was, that anyway, that'd be drama. But that it's all off the table.
See, my proposition is to have all 3 horses, Maximum Security, the horse that really ratted on Maximum Security, War of Worlds or World of War, something like that. I don't have a clue. I don't care. I don't know what his name is. World of Warcraft, as far as I'm concerned. And then Country House. Have those
Country
3
Horse
go.
would be an awesome name for a horse.
Yes, they should have just stuck with Country Horse. Have Country Horse and those 3 run and just do it, because that would draw more ratings than the Preakness and the rest, because Maximum Security's out and Country House is out. So really,
War of Will is that horse's name.
There you go. Whatever.
So
Some of these names.
They should quit being biased against other species and let a cow in the Preakness.
I would be in favor of like a zebra. That would be great.
Yes.
Let a zebra run.
In North Korea, it's unicorn racing.
Yeah, and Kim Jong-un
And in
runs right.
MTSU, it's Pegasus racing.
There we go. Yeah, I'd love to see it in Murray. Just have a bunch of dudes riding. Have a bunch of dudes in the costumes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
my winner was going to be our Twitter account because all the memes of the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
Like, I was really proud of the one, the Steve Harvey Miss America thing, like, congrats to Maximum Security on winning the Kentucky Derby. I got a bunch of retweets and likes. I was proud of how that turned out. I don't know what it is about the Kentucky Derby, but it makes the best memes. Like, the most likes I've ever got on a tweet on my personal account was about the Kentucky Derby, too. So I guess it's just my destiny or a Kentuckian thing. I'm not really sure which.
Yeah, I mean that was some good stuff. I'll give you that. Ross, do you have any winners and losers? And then I'll finish up with my last one.
Nothing crazy. What was it? Was it yesterday or the day before? I'm not a big soccer guy, but was it Liverpool came back from 3 goals down or something?
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
That's crazy, but yeah, I'm not a big soccer guy.
Yeah, I don't either. The World Cup is cool, but I don't understand any of the EuroLeague stuff.
Yeah, I would love to see a world, football or world basketball thing. That would be really cool to me. I mean, it takes 4 years, but
there is world. I mean, it's the Olympics for that. So, but football is. I mean, we're the only country who really plays. So,
so I guess my last one. Loser, the world, and winner, I guess, the royal family.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't care anything about the baby. I mean, congrats to them for having a baby and, not having any problems or anything.
What kind of name is Archibald, though?
Yeah, I agree. I saw a meme where they said his name was Leroy, and I was like, that's great.
Leroy!
Yeah, that's great. I love that you know that, Jared. So... Yeah, if they did name... and I actually heard that the Queen has to approve his name. How do you like that? Your grandma has to tell you if the name's okay.
What's going to happen if she says no? Is it going to be are they going to come to America too, or what? What's going to happen?
I don't know. And my thing is the kid an American now? I mean, Meghan Markle is technically from the U.S., so... I mean, she's an American.
I guess it depends on if he can have... I don't know. I don't know. If he wasn't born in the U.S. just because... I don't know. That's a good question. I would assume he's partial, but he would have to... they would have to claim it or something.
How awesome is that if there's an American on the British throne? I'm just yes. America right there. Comes in with a cut-off T-shirt and blue jean shorts. I'm like, yes! Win for us. But in all honesty, I think that once we sign the Declaration of Independence, nobody should care about the British royal family. But
preach.
That's a good point.
That's just me. And I know there's a lot of 30 and 40-year-old moms.
Celebrity worship culture and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's annoying.
Yeah, I don't buy into it. I've never have. I think it's all these old moms who Princess Diana and all that stuff that kind of buys into this, but
yeah,
that's just me. I don't know.
I think you're right.
So, Ross, do you have a baseball, softball update for us?
It was a perfect weekend last weekend for the baseball and softball tops. It was I think 6-0. We'll start off with some baseball. They are in great shape to clinch their first conference tournament bid since 2014 when they swept usually perennially powerful Rice last weekend at home. They won 6-3, 9-5, and 6-4. And they're sitting, actually, after sweeping that, they leapfrogged them and another team. They are tied for third in Conference USA. So they're at 14-9-1 in conference, 23-22 and 1 overall. So basically, like we've said 1,000 times on the show, make the conference tournament, the season's a success, and you can go forward. It looks like against some teams, their pitching has been a little bit better lately. So they have a huge test against Louisiana Tech in Monroe this weekend. They actually just beat LSU last night, who's one of the powerhouses. So I think if they can win one of those 3 this weekend, it's huge. And then next Tuesday they go to Clarksville to play Austin Peay. So should be a good thing. And then they close with the Old Dominion. So everything's everything's going great with baseball right now. I think there's all the good vibes. So,
That's
any
great.
comments, guys, or anything like that?
I have a question. Is Jake Sanford still in the running for the Triple Crown thing at baseball or whatever it is?
Yeah, he's still leading Conference USA in batting average, home runs, and RBIs right now. So
Sweet.
I did a little bit of Twitter questioning and stuff like that. They said that, in baseball, it's pretty common for basically you go in and you either declare out of high school for the draft and you go to the minor leagues, or you play 3 years of college. So he was a junior college transfer. So he might just be one and done on the hill because with his monster year he's having, and I saw him, he's not a terrible fielder either. So he could probably play himself in the top 10 rounds, which could get him a decent signing bonus and a jump start on his career. So, we might want to enjoy Jake Sanford while we can. And he's been awesome. I mean, I think 20 homers and just like killing it. So
He redeemed
pretty
the Sanford
cool
name
season.
at Western, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Unless he goes to Utah State, he may be able to show his face out there. Honestly, It sounds bad, but Jared, I thought you were going to say Jake Omer, and I was like, dude, that's not even the same sport.
No,
That's coming up after
I didn't have
softball.
any
Yeah.
Travis Hilton moments.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So, softball. Is that right? You got softball up there
Yep.
for us?
So we are about 15 minutes from the start of the Conference USA. Well, it's already started, but Western start to the Conference USA tournament. They have to win tonight. They play our hated rivals Mutts in 15 minutes. If they win tonight, they get to advance to the double elimination phase. If they lose tonight, then their season's pretty much over. So. Over the weekend, they swept UTSA, which was really nice, and finished. They won the Conference USA East Division, but basically the tiebreaker is winning percentage, so that's why they're having to play in this elimination game tonight as a 3 seed. So, from what I've read, they're probably on the outside looking in for a at-large bid, unless they made it to the finals and lost to North Texas or Louisiana Tech. But it's been a great season. I think they got one girl on the all-conference team yesterday and a couple, 3 or 4 on the second team. So we'll see if we can ride that hot pitching, Kelsey Akey, Kennedy Sullivan to a long run. And luckily for Conference USA, all the games are on ESPN Plus. So if you are paying that $5 a month for basketball and football, you might as well just throw it on there tonight. Or you'll probably be hearing this afterwards. But starting tomorrow, all the games will also be on there too. So
Yeah.
let's pay attention to that. And like I said, I don't think any of our teams made the NCAA tournament this year. So if softball or baseball can somehow do it, they're the team of the year. So.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've got really good girl sports on the hill anyway. So a quick aside, the track and field team is going to the outdoor championships this year. So
They might be good, and there's 2 golfers that are making the NCAA regionals. So Billy Tom Sargent has been there, and somebody else. So little guys, shout out to them. Good luck.
Yep, gotta always try to support the little sports too. My wife was actually on the track team, so fun fact for y'all.
What event?
She was a thrower. She threw discus and hammer, or maybe shot. I don't remember. I'm awful.
Did you ever try to go against her?
Did I ever try to throw against her? Lord, no, dude. I played with the discus because she had some from when she was in high school. And I would go out in the yard and play like I was going to throw it, but I could throw it 10 or 12 foot, and then I was like, nope. I'm not doing this.
You're like, I'm not going to get embarrassed.
Nope, I'm not going to do this against you because I know you'll beat me, so it's all good. So basketball. I guess the biggest thing I think we should all kind of look at ourselves in the mirror about is, are you afraid of our transfers that we're losing?
Well, you got to start off with who transferred a couple of days ago.
Okay, why don't you give us that?
So, fan favorites, Facebook and message board favorite Jake Omer has
No.
left the program.
Not the short white kid.
No! I always wanted him to start.
You know
I'm
what?
sorry.
And with my quick thoughts on him specifically, I think he came in. If you look at his early freshman stats, like when we beat Purdue and SMU, he had that swagger and confidence that got him a scholarship offer. Like, he was hitting threes, he was fearless, everything else. Some late in his freshman season, maybe with that nose injury, he lost his shooting and his confidence, and then it kind of all went downhill from there. And then he just kind of settled into a role player this season. So, I think losing the continuity with Jake sucks, because you got to have senior role players even if they only play 10 minutes a game. Like, that's what helps teams in March. But I mean, with Cameron Justice, Kenny Cooper, I think Jackson Harlan, the freshman out of Clinton County, he's a bigger, taller version of Jake Omer. So, I mean, best of luck to him. I just don't think he would ever really see the court that much anymore. So
I agree. Go ahead, Jared. I'll let you get your point in.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, because, I mean, if you look at how bad the bench was last season, I mean, it was really bad. I mean, most games they couldn't even collectively get 10 points for the entire game off the bench, and I think that's what killed us in so many different games last season, was nobody showed up on the bench, and all the players that have transferred so far were essentially bench players outside of Banton starting a few games. And
Ben was a bench player by the end of the season too.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he went downhill really fast. I mean, once he got sent to the bench, he basically gave up. So, I mean, I'm not really going to miss him if he's going to be kind of like that. So, I like the senior guys coming in, Kenny Cooper, I mean, Cam Justice, both of them look really good. We need some leadership and also some better shooting. And I think that they'll be able to help with that, especially. So, we need that.
Honestly, I don't think we really had a bench last year, really. I mean, there was 5 guys that Stans looked to, and that was about it.
You had Tolu Smith, who would get you about 4 or 5 and 4 rebounds, which was fine. That's exactly for a backup big man.
Yeah.
And then other than that, you might get a lucky night where Jake would hit a couple threes, or who am I missing in my head? Yeah, and it was just very sporadic. I mean, Gambrell was hurt. I really, we can get on this in a second if we're going to see any movement. I really think he should be a player you watch next season to see if he can take that step. But yeah, there was no bench production this past season.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really even get any minutes either, which is kind of, but I know a lot of people cheered for Jake Omer, and that's fine. I hope the kid does well wherever he goes. So where do you all think, projection-wise, where do you think he'll end up?
Probably University of the Cumberlands, because that's where he was going before he signed with Western anyway.
You think that?
I think he'll go to a Bellarmine or a Division II, or he could go back home and play at Northern Kentucky. You never know. So
no, I mean, honestly, I see him at a. Jared's gonna cringe. At a Murray, a Northern, and maybe an Eastern. I mean, I think he could do well at some of those smaller schools like that.
I think he'll be. I mean, if maybe Northern, because it's right near where he grew up. But
okay,
I don't see him. I mean, I just don't see his problem is he can't create his own shot, and I don't see how that's going to change just by going down to the OVC. So
okay,
yeah.
Okay, I will yield to you. I'll yield to you all because y'all know better than I do on basketball. So I'll just give you that. So it looks like we got Lamonte Bearden is graduating. It looks like Charles Bassey he'll be back, but the NBA draft.
Well.
I know. I keep harping on it, but we'll see. Matt Horton is transferring to Pittsburgh State. Delano Banton is going to Nebraska, and Horton is going to Pittsburgh State as well. Wow, you got the okay. I just said that twice. Yeah, we got Horton twice on the article. So I was like, wait a second, we got 2 guys going to Pittsburgh State? Yeah, wait, no. But yeah, I just looked at that off of the Towrack article. So you all check that out. But as we were talking about Charles Bassey, he is going to the combine. It looks like he got an invite. Any ideas as far as projections wise where we think he's going to end up?
Let me see. I think that now that he's going to be able to work out with all the other scouts and do all the drills and all that stuff, I think that these people are finally going to get to see just how athletic this dude is. Because, I mean, he's almost 7 foot. He's got a really soft touch for a big guy. He's got that outside shot if you need him to have it. I mean, Stans never really drew him up much stuff from outside because they needed him in the paint, obviously. I think that he's definitely capable of it. I mean, his knee's pretty much healed up at this point. So the only thing that for him is that he needs to hit the weight room regardless of what he does. He needs to bulk up a little bit so he can work on kind of getting into the post. He needs to work on his post moves a lot because usually he would just go from like putbacks, dunks, and stuff like that, or just maybe some quick inside stuff. But, I mean, I think that he could definitely go in the second round at the latest, maybe mid-second round. But see, the dream for him is that if you can get drafted at the end of the first round, because that guarantees you going to a good team, possibly like Golden State or.
Well, that guarantees you to get 3-year contract if you get that. If
yeah,
you make
you're
the
guaranteed.
First round, you get a guaranteed contract.
You're guaranteed money, yeah, and I think that's what you got to aim for. I think if you're in the first to the second round, you come back. If you come back, you can earn more money. Granted, there's a risk of injury and stuff like that, but I think you got to come back. You
just want him to come back so you have your right prediction. We all know that.
Well, it's that, and for Sir Charles Bassey's well-being, I think he should come back because he literally could make like $10 million more by, coming back. And I think another thing too, real quick. How many big guys we got in the draft this year, too? I mean, you got Zion, and you got
he's
PJ.
More like a small forward in the NBA level.
Yeah, Bassey's is not really going against those guys. He's going against like the Daniel Gaffords of the world.
Okay.
Who's that guy from Maryland? Is it Francisco something or?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
And of course Ethan Happ. He'll probably be there too.
Yeah, but Ethan Happ's going to the G League. Combine. So basically, Bassey. Yeah, I mean, he's not an athletic guy. I mean, against players like Bassey, he got dominated. So
it definitely showed.
Basically, my thoughts on the whole thing is Bassey's going to go. It can either go one of two ways. He either goes there, dominates, and he's gone, or he goes there, he finds out, okay, well, I'm not ready yet. We got to remember. He should have been a high school senior this year, so he's still a 19-year-old coming into it. He'd be in the same age as the freshman class this year, so he'd come back, improve a lot, know what he needs to improve on, and then get kind of like a PJ Washington, middle of the first round, late first round next year, and really improve that stock. Well, that's more wishful thinking, but Devin predicted it, so.
We'll see.
If he comes back for a second year at Western, can we count him for a freshman again? Sort of like how Ben Simmons was Rookie of the Year in like his second year kind of thing. Because if he technically falls within that class, he should be.
I don't think so, bud. I would like to, but I don't see that happening. But I mean, yeah, I know it's probably the longest cold take we've got on this show is that Charles Bassey's coming back, but we'll see. I mean. It's whatever. Honestly, I wish the best for him. But my thing is, if you're going second round, I'm like, no, you got to come back, dude. If you go first round, I mean, even if you're the last pick in the first round, I think that affects money too. Actually,
the question is, can he improve his stock, and B, if he's does he want to waste a year when he could be making money? And that's the whole thought process now. It's like, okay, well. I can't improve my stock from this year to next year. I'm going to be in the same boat. Well, I might as well jump and make that, $800,000 a year while I'm still young. And, you do that, play for 10 years, whether it be G League, overseas, whatever. And then, you basically get another year of earnings. So that's obviously
my thing is, though, if I can make $10 million more in 9 months, I'm going to wait the 9 months. If I'm going from league minimum to, how much ever, I'm gonna be sitting there. I'm gonna wait it out.
Devin,
That's the thing. If he comes back and
right.
if he can't and can improve his stock, then next year he's gone regardless. So.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I have a terrible example to use. There's this one guy, the guy who shall not be named. He got drafted in the early part of the second round, and he actually turned out to be not so bad. I mean, he didn't get as much playing time as he probably wanted, but he still led the NBA with blocks for rookies and still looked pretty solid at moments, which is, to me, upsetting.
Well, I mean, but you got to realize, if he would have came to Western, he would have fell to the second round. I think a lot of teams were spooked to him because of his character issues and his flip-flopping and all that stuff. That's why he fell.
I'm still glad he
It wasn't because of his talent.
I agree, though. I mean, with what you're saying, Ross, I think a lot of his flip-flop issues is what dropped him to the second round. And I think if he'd actually came to Western and played and done what he's supposed to, then he would have been fine. And
he wouldn't be on the Knicks either, probably.
Yeah,
true.
That's true. I mean, he could have gotten a lot better stock, but I mean, we'll see. I wish Charles the best, no matter what happens. So we'll just have to see as far as that goes. So what did y'all think of WKU having the third best class in Conference USA? Is that what it was? Let me double check my notes here.
I hadn't seen how all the final stuff came up.
WKU's 2019 class is third in Conference USA.
Which side?
Who was 1 and 2?
I have no idea. This is Jake's notes.
Oh.
I'll have to check this out.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, if you incorporate the grad transfers and everything else, I think it's far and above a better class than anybody else in the conference. I mean, you just got to look at that. I mean, UTSA had a decent big man that was pretty comparable to our top-rated high school guys. But, I mean, you know, they're all 3-star players. You can't get the Bassies every year or the Josh Andersons. So, you know, we've got Rawls in the holster, whether it be with him in, you know, this class, which would jump it up to first, or next year's class. So Stansbury's only going to get like 1 or 2 4-star guys a year. So it just depends.
And I'm fine with that, really. I mean, if you can
Honestly, I don't even know what the other classes look like for the other Conference USA schools. I haven't really looked to see if anyone's gotten anyone good or not at this point.
Yeah, we'll have to get with Jake on that because I have no idea.
Yeah, UTSA's got like a big man who's like 195 or something like that, but it's nothing crazy. So
see, like I think that's going to be our main competition next year is UTSA with Jackson and Wallace plus maybe this big guy in the center. That could be a pretty big threat to Western next year.
Yeah, but they're always a 2-man team and they don't play defense. So who did they lose to in the first?
They
lost to UAB, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure on that. I'll have to check on that. But yeah, Jared, you make a good point. They were a good 3-man team.
Mm-hmm. Well, they will be a good 3-man team. They were a 2-man team.
Okay.
Year, so
okay, so there we go.
This big guy's good.
Let me Google that real quick.
And then, I mean, one of the schools might get someone like Marcus Evans with Rice did that kind of came out of nowhere, really good as a freshman, and then went to a good school. So, I mean, there's always those kind of toss-ups, too.
I mean, like Louisiana Tech lost somebody that was like an all-conference player as a transfer. I mean, the thing with, you know, there's no Elmore's returning next year. Southern Miss had a bunch of really solid upper-class players. They're basically, besides UTSA, every team's lost a boatload of players, minus Western. I mean, the only player we really lost until we hear from Bassie is Bearden. So you get the upper class. I think I did the math whenever we got Justice and Cooper. We'll have 9 juniors or seniors on the team next season. There is no excuse next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The pitchforks and torches will come out if we are not in the tournament this time next year.
I think everybody's got them behind their back right now, so it wouldn't take much. Now, as far as that goes, UTSA lost to UAB twice.
They lose to them their last game of the season. That's what I was curious.
Yes. That was the last game of the season.
Well, but basically that's my point. UTSA in basketball, they are a 2-man team, but you live and die by those 2 men. If you don't have balance, then you're susceptible to bad shooting games or games where you can't. If you don't have a third option, like look at Xavier Green on Old Dominion last season. When Caver and Stith didn't have a good game, you know who killed us? Xavier Green.
Yeah,
you got to have that third or fourth option. So
completely agree.
He's going to be their main guy next year too, so that's going to be interesting to see if we can actually stop him for once.
Yeah, I'm not that worried about them. They were one of those senior teams that built towards that moment, and then now they're a one-man team. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, it's one of those things you're gonna have to see how they rebuild, but I think we'll be okay.
I'm sure we'll still find a way to choke in the conference title game. It's fine. I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not either.
Third time's a charm, Jared.
Yeah. And then next year we'll be going, fourth time's the charm, Jared.
We better not. Oh,
so apparently, according to Athlon Sports, there we go. Duncan was picked number 8 in Conference USA. So is that depressing, or what do y'all think? Because there's 7 other quarterbacks. Right. There's 7 other quarterbacks that are better than him at this point. So
I'll give my quick 2-cent analysis. You look at he was the only part-time starter he basically everybody ahead of him was a full-time starter from the top, like Mason Fine and James Morgan, which are competing for all-conference quarterbacks in North Texas and FIU, to like Marshalls, Louisiana Tech, Southern Misses. Like basically, Duncan showed enough last year to say, okay, well, we're going to rank you in the middle of the pack as opposed to towards the back. So I think that's encouraging considering he wasn't a full-time starter last year.
I'll agree with that. Like you said, with him not being with the carousel that Mike Sanford created last year. I guess kind of a spin-off question off that is, do you think Ty Story's going to get any time on the field this year?
I think there's a good chance Jared take that. Might. I don't know. I mean, I still think the starting quarterback will probably be Duncan, just for the fact, like you said, Ross, he still looked pretty solid last year, and also he was recruited by Helton when he was here the first time. So I feel like that connection is going to help him a little bit. I think he's going to develop pretty good in the offseason, getting some first-team snaps and everything. And I think that he could be the starter, but if he ends up not doing too good, I think Story could come in, sort of like Eccles did last year, but hopefully he'll stay healthy.
Story or Kavarius Thomas, Jared's boy or something. The thing with Duncan is he's got the tools. He's just got to limit the mistakes. Even in the spring game, he had fumbles, a couple interceptions. Like, once he gets – Dowdy had 15 and 15 in his first year as a starter. I think they said that in that same article, Duncan had, 9 touchdowns and 7 picks. He's got to go probably to like the 25 and 12 range to really take that next step.
Yeah.
Helton could just play 4 different quarterbacks like Sanford did last year.
Ugh. I hope
Never
not.
forget the unmitigated disaster era of Western.
It truly was an unmitigated disaster, and that's what just was the huge debacle that was Mike Sanford. And even with him being a quarterback's coach, you think he would know better. But I don't know if it was him trying to, just trying to make the other quarterbacks happy or what his deal was. I have no idea. It wasn't smart football to me. But aside from that, I just don't see a lot of time for Ty Story coming in this year. We'll see.
I think he's a good insurance policy. If Duncan doesn't take the reins or whatever, or obviously if somebody gets hurt, like, he is good. It's going to be interesting to see if somebody like Shanley sticks around if he doesn't win the job because
or Thomas. I still want Thomas.
Or Tom. Or Tom. The thing with Thomas is he's still very young. He's still a redshirt freshman. Even if somebody like Duncan doesn't he gets time to develop and he can start his last 2 years kind of like Duncan did, has going for him here. So
here's what I
still think Thomas should be given time to develop, just not this year.
Go ahead.
This is what I want. If Thomas doesn't get the starting quarterback job, move him to fullback. That man will steamroll through anybody. I'll take that.
I legit could see him being a tight end, honestly. I know he's got the gift for he's a gifted quarterback and he's a truck as far as that's concerned, but dude, he's a beast. He looks very intimidating. But we'll see. I mean, and I love football so much, but it's just one of those things that it's kind of frustrating because this is the slow time of year for me, and I'm just like, come on now, let's go football.
Yeah, I saw
it like 110 days. We'll be here before you know it.
110 days. I'm gonna freeze myself and then come back in 110 days.
If only it worked like that.
I know, right?
Just tell your wife to throw something at you, and she could put you in a coma and then knock you out of it by then.
My God, she would do that. I'm not gonna tell her that. That sounds like an awful idea. So, I guess since Jake's not here, we get to have our own little Munch madness this week.
Oh boy.
Dun dun dun.
I know. Dun dun dun.
He won't be able to yell at me for all of my food choices, so this will be pleasant.
So the 1 and 4, the first one is nacho cheese Doritos in the 1 seed.
Quick question, Devin.
Sure.
Is this the last of the 4 brackets?
This is the last.
Before we get to the.
Yes, this is the last region before we finally finish it all up.
Okay, and then another follow-up question: who does the winner of this play in the final 4?
The winner of this will play Jerky.
Okay.
Yes. So the way
I'm still mad at Jerky for beating my Baileys. I'm not gonna forgive you for that.
Okay. So the way the regions are working out so far, the first bracket, the sweet bracket, is Reese's. The spicy bracket, gosh, what was that? Was it Flamin' Hot Cheetos last week?
Yep.
Okay. Now we have the cheese bracket, and then the last bracket will be Jerky. So we'll have Reese Cups versus Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and then the winner of the cheese bracket versus Jerky. So here we go.
Should be good and weird.
Yes, completely weird, and that's what makes this so much fun.
Yes.
Nacho Cheese Doritos is the 1 seed. The 2 seed is Cheetos, followed by the 3 seed Goldfish. And the 4 seed is straight Cheese Whiz. Which, by God, I was like... I said Cheese Whiz on Ritz crackers. So, I mean, and he's like, well, everybody kept saying Cheese Whiz. And I'm like, dude, come on, Cheese Whiz? So, I'll go ahead and let y'all know just straight out. My vote is for Nacho Cheese Doritos for the 1 seed.
I would agree with
Against
that.
Cheese Whiz?
Against Cheese Whiz.
I'll let Jared go first.
Jared,
Alright.
go ahead, bud.
See, like, straight Cheese Whiz, I mean, I haven't done that in a very long time. But, I mean, it is pretty good, but, I mean, nacho cheese Doritos. Like, nacho cheese Doritos are just so good. So good.
Oh, yeah.
But every time, I don't know if you've seen the movie Blues Brothers. I hope you have, Devin.
Yes.
Every time I think of Cheese Whiz, I think of the Blues Brothers because when they're going into that apartment, that one random guy's like, "Where's my Cheese Whiz at, boy?" And he just randomly throws him a can of Cheese Whiz with absolutely zero context. No context whatsoever. It's about as out of place as the Game of Thrones cup. Like, it's that kind of random.
That was hilarious. Just so you know.
Yeah, how did we not put that in the loser?
That is a good one. That's a late ad. My wife and I actually sat down Monday or last night, maybe, and actually I rewatched the beginning of that episode just to see if the cup was really there, and it was for like 1 frame, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Product placement, man.
I know, right? I mean, even in my brain, I think I saw it, but I just didn't pay attention to it.
Because, I mean, to us, it seems normal, but when it's on a TV show that takes place during that time period, I mean, obviously it's out of place.
Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, the only thing I can think of is straight Cheese Whiz was Dodgeball. At the very end, when he's like, "My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard," and I'm like, ah. But, Ross, what's your vote, buddy?
I mean, I love some Cheese Whiz on like Triscuits or Wheat Thins or whatever, but yeah, it's got to be nacho cheese. And there was a reason it was a 1 seed, and just eating Cheese Whiz by yourself, it's kind of gross.
I agree. Just, I mean, anything else but Cheese Whiz. Now, the 2 and the 3, for me, this is no competition. Ross, why don't you go first? Cheetos versus Goldfish.
I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with Goldfish.
Oh my gosh, the upset. Okay, Jared, where's your vote at, buddy?
See, this is kind of tricky though. Like, when you mean Cheetos, do you just mean like the regular standard Cheetos, or do you mean like the cheese puffs?
I was gonna say,
There's
what
a
do you
significant
consider?
difference.
I was gonna say, what do you consider standard?
I think just like the normal Cheetos, the cheese puffs or whatever are a totally different thing.
Yeah.
They're thicker.
Okay, for me, if it's the regular Cheetos, I gotta go Goldfish.
Oh
If
my
it's the cheese
gosh!
puffs, if it's cheese puffs,
And
I'm
we
going
already
with the
got
cheese
we already have
puffs.
Cheetos in one final already.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, we do. We do have Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Yeah, that's a very big upset. So we got Goldfish moving on against Nacho Cheese Doritos.
What was your vote? Just for
my vote was for Cheetos. I was gonna go straight Cheetos. But that's how it goes. Part of the game. I like Cheetos. The puffs are okay. My wife used to like
the puffs are where it's at.
My wife likes the balls that you get. I mean, they're not Cheetos, but it's basically the same thing.
The cheese balls are the best of those.
Yes, of course you got to let them get like halfway stale and then eat them. But okay, so Jared, Nacho Cheese Doritos versus Goldfish.
See, Goldfish are good. Sometimes, I mean, like, I help out with my church and stuff, and I mean, in the kids' wing, there's some, and sometimes it makes a good stack for when I'm hungry in between services. But, I gotta go Nacho Cheese Doritos. I mean, it's hard to top. I mean, even at Taco Bell, like the Nacho Cheese shelled tacos, those are really good too.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. The Nacho Cheese tacos are amazing.
Ultimate munchy food.
Yes, those are great. And you can substitute those into the little boxes, because I always like to get the box.
Yeah.
Love that. Ross, what's your vote? Nacho Cheese Doritos or Goldfish?
I'm going to keep the Goldfish train going, even though it's not going to win. Because, hear me out.
Okay.
Goldfish are a little bit better for you, slightly. They're baked, not, fried and everything else. They're more kid-friendly. They don't get your hands messy. And they've got that good, salty taste. So, give me some Goldfish here.
I know.
Part of the experience of eating Doritos is licking the nacho cheese off of your fingers when you're done, in my opinion.
Now, see, my OCD kicks in, and that's one of my worst things with Cheetos is the little stuff on your fingers. I know it's the best part, but it's also just the, I don't know. I know I sound like a weirdo, but it's weird for me. Okay, never mind. My vote is for Nacho Cheese Doritos, so the 1 seed moves on.
There it is.
There we go.
Woo! Hey, I'm glad Goldfish
I know nobody
made it
went
that far. So,
hey,
Ross,
yeah, Ross, the advocate for
Bailey's-
Goldfish.
If Bailey's made a goldfish flavored Bailey's, I would send it to you. I'm sure that would not taste good in the slightest, but still.
Oh my gosh.
Bailey's will be my winner regardless of who actually wins this thing.
So fun little story. I know I share everything on Facebook. So if any of our listeners want to add me, please send me a message first so I know that you're a listener so I can add you. But I did see a video on the Tipsy Bartender. I like to watch his videos because he's pretty crazy about stuff. But the Tipsy Bartender did the Game of Thrones Giant Spain's drink. And part of it was Bailey's Irish Cream, which I thought was hilarious.
Yes.
And then Rumcha was another part, which I've never had. And then Hennessy was another, and then he had Fireball.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, that stuff looked very potent, I will say, but it was really funny to watch.
I can imagine that.
Last thing here, I guess before we get off, the Boredom Busters. Jared, do you have a Boredom Buster?
I do. It's me and my very obscure Travel Channel shows, as always. But there's this new show that's called Mission Declassified. It's the name of the guy that hosts it. His name is Chris Prutzel. And he was like an investigative journalist for 15 years, and he still is for the show and everything. What he does is that he takes these really notorious cold case files, like the Black Dahlia murder, a whole bunch of different random stuff like that, and uses newly classified information that the government has released and through the Freedom of Information law, and he tries to see if he can get in more information on like who the killer is or like what actually happened, and it's actually been really interesting. Like if you like cold case kind of stuff or just like investigative stuff, like it's a really cool show to check out. It's on Sunday nights at 9 Central, I think. It's either 8 or 9 Central at night. So yeah, check it out on Travel Channel. I like it a lot.
I was gonna say that sounds like a really good one. I will say, I guess one of mine. I haven't seen it yet, but it's one of those things that I'm waiting to see it. It's the new Ted Bundy movie.
Oh, yeah. With Zac Efron.
Yeah, with Zac Efron.
I watched the documentary on him, and it was good, but I've heard mixed results about that one. So let me know how it is.
From what I've heard, there is no site of the murders. So there's no revelation as far as like seeing him killing somebody. It's kind of like from his girlfriend's perspective, so to speak. But, I mean, from what I've heard, it's supposed to be really good. And another one, I don't have it on my list here, but I cannot wait to see the Detective Pikachu movie, because I think that looks hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Deadpool is literally playing Pikachu.
I know, right? So you gotta love it. You gotta love it. I think it'll be hilarious. I have loved every single video or trailer they've put out for it, so we'll see how it does. Ross, do you have anything, buddy?
Well, between the anime and the Detective Pikachu, I guess you're lucky I got it dropped off a little bit last week.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, bud.
I've kind of been busy lately, but I don't know if you guys saw the recent season of True Detective they did a couple months ago. That was really good with the Mahershala Ali and stuff on it. I thought that was a really good, crime drama thing. So that was on HBO a few months back. So check it out.
I always enjoy those kind of shows. So I will have to check that out. And on the Ted Bundy, the tapes, I loved that. That was really good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that one was really good. I liked that one a lot.
So yeah, y'all have to check those out. Those are some good Boredom Busters for you this week. And with we're going real short tonight. This has been a while since we've had a 45-minute show, so
it's all Jake's fault.
I know it's Jake. See,
at least
we need him just to ramble for like 15 minutes. But
that's all good. But hey, guys, just follow the Towel Rack. They got content daily. I know it's a little slower this time of year, but they're still spitting stuff out.
We're putting out legitimate contact, or not which country singer went to one class or something like that.
Yeah, I mean it's actually stuff that actually has to do with Western, and so you got to love it. Follow those guys over there. Follow the memeologist Jared on Twitter.
Yes, for sure.
And follow Ross and his detective shows. And as always, guys,
go Top Softball.
Yep, go Top Softball. Yeah. Hope y'all get it. And track and field. Hope y'all do well this weekend. But as always, guys, go Tops.
Go Tops.
Go Tops.